Hey everyone, how's it going? Today I'm bringing you a shoe review on the Asics Shore Runner. In the past you may have seen groups like Storer and Brooman wearing these shoes, and they were very popular last year. This is now my third pair of these shoes and they are really good. They're lightweight, really comfortable, and they break in quite quick. The shoes come in mesh and suede. These are the suede variant, so you do have the choice. The good thing about these shoes are that you can feel your landings, and they're also good for absorbing impact. I'm gonna cut to some of my training clips now, and I hope you enjoy.
Oh yeah, det är det. Oh yeah!
Let's start off with some of the positives for these shoes. There is a reasonable amount of padding and they are quite forgiving if you bounce or overshoot a jump. And with time, the cushioning, the padding does break in, it molds to your foot, so you get a nice accurate touch and you're able to feel all of your takeoffs and all of your landings. As with the grip on these shoes, it is quite decent. It sticks to most things you will find outside, rails included. I've only had one or two odd slips in the gym on wood. That seems to be one of the weaknesses. But I do think due to the different textures on the shoe, I have been able to train outside in the rain, in the wet on these, and not slipped out, been good, so I'd rate them. From an aesthetic point of view, the shoes are fashionable. They come in a nice discreet black. They may feel a bit bulky at the beginning, but they do grow on you, and when you break them down, they feel nice and they are quite modest with a retro sneaker design. Alright, so let's talk about some of the negatives. The shoes, having been around for a while, can be quite hard to find. You may pick your size up on eBay or Amazon, but it doesn't mean that they're going to come relatively cheap. As for the sole, it has different textures, different depths within the sole, and when you're training outside it's easy for dirt and stones to get stuck in there, which can become annoying over time. As with most training shoes, they've got the white accent around the bottom, which also gets very dirty very quickly, and then for the sole, the different pieces of rubber tend to peel away over time because it's not a one-piece rubber sole. The main cause for this is arm jumps and wall runs. Pushing the foot into the wall on rough surfaces breaks down and peels away over time. As with the sizing for these shoes, they fit as to be expected, but I will say that there is a bit of room within these shoes and my toe does hit the end of the shoe when I'm landing positions, pushing my foot forwards. So with time, the interior lining of the shoe does break down and can lead to the dreaded toe going through the shoe. Although I can't complain too much because I picked these up off eBay for just £12 and they do last a relatively long time. I've worn these for about 2 or 3 weeks now, and as you can see, they're still held together, still looking strong, they've not fallen apart. With time, as I say, you may notice the peeling or the breaking down of the front of the shoe, but for a small price, they're definitely worth picking up. So let's take a look at some comparisons for these shoes. We'll start with another Asics shoe, the Gel Light 3. This is an easy to find shoe on eBay, have good padding, very supportive, but I found that the sole is a bit chunky, feels like it'd take a lot of time to break in compared to this shoe, similar to the Reebok Classic that I reviewed in my last video. On these shoes though, the sole is made up of 2 solid pieces, so you wouldn't have to worry about the peeling as you do with these ones. I think if you bought those shoes new, they would mould to your foot similar to these shoes, but they'd still have a slightly chunkier sole, and so wouldn't be as good for feeling your landings like these shoes are. Alright, from Adidas, the Adidas Essential Star 2, we know it was popular just like this shoe last year. It's comfortable, lightweight and flexible. It has also a reasonable amount of padding, but does have the one-piece sole, so you've got less to worry about pieces of rubber tearing away, although I have seen photos of people's shoes on the Adidas eventually breaking down and tearing away, although I think they would last longer and would probably win in the competition against the Shore Runner. I will say that the Essential Star 2 has a harder insole and so takes more time to break in, but the real problem with those shoes is just how hard it is to find the mesh variant, so at this point they're pretty much rare. Next we're going to have a look at the Stora 10s. These have been hot topic at the minute, and I'm sure if you search YouTube you'll find plenty of reviews to go and get more information than what I can give you at this moment. I did want to say that the shoes are lightweight, very flexible, they're about the same width of these shoes, and they are a very similar shape to this design. Low height in the sole means that there's good stability throughout the shoe, and the raise towards the toe means there's a good curve, so you'll get a good drive when taking off and when striding. I will say that the Stora 10s are more flexible than this shoe, and it has a one-piece sole with different pieces of grip in between, but I wouldn't think that the Stora 10s would peel as easily as these shoes do. And if you want to buy a shoe specifically designed for parkour and support Stora, rather than buying a retro sneaker not designed for parkour, obvious in the way that this peels, then you're better off buying the Stora 10s. Finally, I'm going to include the New Balance Zanti V3. I don't know a great deal about these shoes, but I've seen them rising up as a favourite earlier this year. Athletes like Dylan Pawson and Tim Champion are repping them, and they have given them a very high rating. The shoe actually looks quite similar to the Team Gio parkour shoe. Again, if you want to support Team Gio and buy a specific parkour shoe, go ahead and do that. I will say that the Zanti has quite a thin width on the sole, and it looks like it could lead to ankle rolls, not as great stability as the width of these shoes. Just to say, the V3 is quite rare to find online or in stores, and it is an upgrade from the V2. With the V3 you'll get a firmer insole and more cushioning. The style of the shoe is not too different from the Asics Shore Runner, but they are designed to be a running shoe, whereas these are more of a fashionable, retro, modern design. Neither shoe is built for parkour, but with the V3 you will get the one-piece sole, which is less likely to tear apart over time, although from Dylan's results I've seen that that's not particularly worked out, and that again we've got peeled soles tearing away, as is the problem with these shoes. It's hard to say whether the New Balance are worth the price tag, or if the reputation of these shoes overcomes the New Balance. Really, that's up to you. I hope you found all that information useful. Be sure to leave me a comment on what shoe to review next, drop a like, subscribe for future videos, and I'll see you next time.